Hello, my name is Chris.
I'm Tammy.
I'm Cole.
And I'm Allison.
Welcome to our home.
One of our favorite restaurants in Walt Disney World is a restaurant called Ohana's. Today we're going to give you a review of it.
Ohana's is located in the Polynesian, or as some people like to call it, the Poly. It is on the second floor of the resort, and if you're in the Magic Kingdom, or if you're in one of the resorts that are connected to the monorail, it's very easily accessed by the monorail.
The wait time for the Ohana's restaurant can range. We've gotten there and waited only about 30 minutes, and then I believe one time we were there for over an hour waiting. And a lot of that will depend on what time in the evening you're having your reservation, because if you're close to the firework time, then what will happen is people will stay in their seats and they won't get up. And so sometimes you'll have to wait a little longer. So the wait time can range quite a bit. However, during that time, one of the things you can do is you can go downstairs, you can go to the gift shops, you can go downstairs and pin trade if you like to pin trade, and it can fill up some of that time doing those things. And they have a great seating area where if you've been in the park all day, you can go in there and sit down with your family and just kind of relax.
The service can range from really good to I know one time we were in Ohana's and the server was kind of slow in getting the food out to us, and so we had to wait like an hour for just the check itself. And
Sure.
But then other times, like I think the first time we went, it was like really quick, and then people were super fast, and it was like 30 minutes to get everything out.
Yeah. We've been there doing great times and bad times both. One time we tried to make it to where we could eat Ohana's kind of at lunch. We booked about 3 o'clock. I think it's the earliest you can book. And we got there as they were opening the restaurant for the evening run. And they set one guy all at the same time. And it was like 6 tables. And it was a nightmare. Things were so slow. The food wasn't very good. And that was our worst experience at Ohana's. So he's right. Service and how it will go can range greatly, but overall, we seem to think it's a pretty good place to go.
I like the coconut bread at the Ohana's because it comes in they come on this tray when you come out. It might take them a few minutes to get it out, and it's this sweet coconut bread, and it has some sweet butter stuff that comes with it, and I like that.
Yeah. Now, the rest of us, we're not big bread eaters, so we're not real into the bread aspect of it, but Allison, she is a bread monster.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't particularly love the coconut bread, but I mean, there are lots of people that really do enjoy it, so just kind of depends on your preference.
Do you really enjoy it?
So the meal is going to begin with the starter, and your starters are going to be your pineapple coconut bread, and then also they're going to bring out a salad. And the salad is a mixed green salad, and it has a really sweet vinaigrette dressing on top, and it's a good salad.
It's very good.
And when they bring it out, it's just brought out to your table, and then they bring everyone just kind of it's like family style. And then once they bring that out, then they'll bring out your appetizers and your accompaniments. Now, both of these things are going to be on the same platter, and your appetizers are going to include pork dumplings and a garlic ginger sauce, and then honey coriander chicken wings, and those all come with 2 dipping sauces. One of them is a peanut dipping sauce, and one of them is a sweet and sour dipping sauce. And then your accompaniments are going to be noodles tossed in a teriyaki sauce, and then stir-fried vegetables.
If you're like me and you have a gluten allergy, this is a really good restaurant for you. The bread, it's one of the worst parts for a gluten thing. Sometimes it's cold and kind of spongy, so that would be one of the only low things about the food. But the skillet is amazing. Especially the chicken, I really enjoy. The broccolis are really soft and seasoned well. One thing that is different is they substitute the noodles with rice, which is really good. still, but just to clarify it, all the chicken and shrimp and steak that they do serve is gluten-free.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make it completely...
Now, the pot stickers or the dumplings, whatever you want to call them, those are not gluten-free. So for me, I like to eat those a lot. I didn't mention that a while ago when she was talking about it, but those are delicious. I usually end up eating all of them that Tammy is not willing to eat. And so the food that they have there is really good. They have steak, chicken, and shrimp that all come out after the accompaniments. And they don't come out in any particular order. They bring them out on a skewer, just kind of straight off of the grill. And so what they do is they'll bring it over, and it'll be a skewer, a couple of feet long, maybe 24 inches. And then they'll take a prong, a two-prong utensil, and they will pull off 2 or 3 or 4, depending on what item you're getting. Steak, they usually try and keep you at about 2 or 3, maybe 4. But shrimp, they'll give you maybe 6 or 7, and then chicken, they'll give you about 4. And they'll do that over and over and over as many times as you want. And so those are usually really good. I like to ask when we get there, is the steak guy here or is the chicken guy here? Because, that seems like an odd question, but they know what you're talking about if you ask that, because they know that there are certain people who are cooking at the restaurant that are just a step above the rest in those areas. And so they'll let you know, the steak guy's here, the chicken guy's here, the shrimp guy's here. And sometimes we've been there and they've been multiple ones, and they'll say, both the steak and chicken are both good tonight. And so that's a good tip to figure out if you want to waste your appetite on something that's maybe not going to hit as good as something that is.
Yeah, because they're going to start with the chicken, and then they're going to go to steak, and then last they'll offer shrimp. So you just want to kind of...
They don't always do it in that order. They've brought it out of order. Last time we were there, they brought steak first. I guess they were out on the
chicken
on the thing up there. But generally, she's right. They do. They bring it in that particular order.
In the restaurant, they have a lot of cool things to see and do. Kids can play a game called the Coconut Race, where kids race to sweep coconuts from one place to another. They get these little brooms and they sweep the coconuts, and almost all the kids in the restaurants get to do this. And they also have this other thing where they give out these lays to everyone, and it's real cool. Get to them.
Yeah.
They don't always give out the lays.
Yeah.
But most of the time they do.
Yeah. The ambiance is kind of okay. It's very calm and relaxing. I personally like to listen to the ukulele man. He plays little songs, and he's the one who hosts the big coconut race, like she was saying. But he plays songs, some from movies, or some from just Polynesian culture. It also is one of the best places to watch the fireworks in Ohana's.
Mm-hmm.
They play the music in it, and you can see the fireworks very well from this particular area. One thing you can't see very well is the projection, unless you just have really good eyesight. But
now the projection on the castle you can't really see, but they bring in the music from the fireworks show, so you kind of get that whole feel, and you can see all the fireworks pretty good if you're in the right spot. Now if you're not in the right spot, you're not going to see them very well. I like the ambiance because it's very relaxing. I mean, it's not as kid-friendly as maybe some of the other places because you don't have characters at night. You do in the morning, though. And so, if you're wanting characters, you need to go in the morning.
Yeah, it's not like Be Our Guest. It's not that type of ambiance. It's just kind of, I don't want to say plain because it's not. It's just calm and relaxing.
And Polynesian-driven,
Yeah.
At the end of the meal, they give you a hot towel. And this allows you to kind of wipe off the barbecue sauce from your fingers because your hands get pretty dirty touching like the little hot wings and different things. So they give you a hot towel. It's nice.
Yeah. It's real hot. It's not
It
just
is
a
very
little
hot.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like going into the sink and turning on the hot water.
Yeah, it's steamy
It's
hot.
steamy hot, yeah.
Yeah, I like to put it on the face.
That's true. Well, the final thing that they bring out is bread pudding, and it's fantastic.
It is good.
That's probably one of, if not my favorite dessert in all of Disney World.
Yeah, for sure. If I know we're going to Ohana's, I don't eat dessert the rest of the day because I know I'm going to eat the bread pudding at Ohana's because it's very good. And on top of the bread pudding, they have a caramel sauce along with some bananas that are mixed in, and then they top it with ice cream as well. So it's extremely good.
Very good.
And for the gluten-free dessert that they have a cake, the ice cream type thing with a few cookies and a chocolate strawberry. The ice cream is just plain ice cream. It's what you would expect. But the cookies are Udi's, and if you're like me and you like Udi's cookies, you'll really like this dessert.
Mm-hmm.
And for the kids' desserts, they bring you out little Rice Krispie treats with Mickey sprinkles. And if they don't give you that, they'll give you a brownie with some marshmallow topping on the brownie. And your kids would probably like that.
And if they're like Allison, they're going to eat that and then try and steal some of your bread pudding. So Ohana's, may be an excellent restaurant, but, you are going to pay a little bit for it. I don't necessarily say it's, excessively expensive considering you're at Disney World. It all depends on how you go about paying for it. There are some tricks to that trade, which we'll have in a future video. But, if you're not using any sort of reduction in costs, I want to say it's somewhere around $180. I don't think I've ever had to pay that much, but it is that much if you're doing that. And that was for a family of 4, and one of those being a child. And so if you're having, 4 adults, it's obviously going to be more. That's based on our pricing that we had when we were there. And in 2018 or 2017, I don't remember the last time I looked at that ticket where I didn't have the discounts. And so
Now we're going to rate the restaurant from 1 to 10.
Alright, so
1 would be absolutely terrible, and 10 being fantastic.
we've got these charts so we can rate them. You guys will find out at the same time we do as to what we think concerning the restaurant. So for our big reveal, I gave it a, well, how about we let youngest to oldest go? Allison, what do you got?
I've got a 9.5.
Okay, cool.
I give it a 10 out of 10.
Alright, Tammy?
I gave it a 10.
I gave it a 9. And so I guess we're pretty close to a 9.75 or so.
Yeah.
And so that's a pretty good rating when you're going out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our advice to you is if you're going to plan on eating somewhere that's not in a park and you are near the monorail at all or in Magic Kingdom, that's a great place to go because you can always go from Magic Kingdom or Epcot over to Ohana's, and you can do that via the monorail real easy from those parks. And then you can take from that park and go wherever else you need to go after eating, and so it's a great place to eat.
Thank you for watching the video. Please comment down below and tell us your thoughts on Ohana's and whose board you like the most.
Like if you liked the video.
Subscribe if you want to see more.
And until next time,
From
our house to yours.